Yo, so let's talk about maize profits, making profits farming maize. In this video, you're going to get a lot of information. I just want to remind you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with people who might benefit from this information. This is going to be the, the best information you can get in terms of farming maize. You will never get this information anywhere else. Cheers. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another video. So, what I want to discuss, and it's clear from the title, is how to make mega profits from planting maize. So if you've been following the channel, you probably know that we did maize the previous season, and I documented most of the steps of planting maize. And I wanted to highlight, sorry, I'm walking, so I'm a bit out of breath. I wanted to highlight that the maize project, was overall profitable. Okay, so the question is, how do you actually make money from planting maize on a small area, let's say 3 acres and above, right? So the first thing I want you to know is that you're going to need to keep massive, mega clean records of your expenses. Watch your expenses. I'm not saying cut your expenses. Remember, watch your expenses. What you need to do is, firstly, you need to pick the right seeds. The right seeds are not cheap, right? So watch your expenses. Secondly, you need to put fertilizers. Fertilizers are not cheap, so watch your expenses. Keep a record of all of your expenses. Labor, negotiate the best deals with your laborers. Make sure you get as much people on the ground as possible. Finish in a shorter period of time so that you cut costs. 1. 2, make sure that you put in the right fertilizer for your produce and for your land. 3, make sure you pick the right seeds and keep track of those records. So you're going to have those expenses that you need to keep watching out for. Once you're done watching out for those expenses, what's next is weeding. You need to do the weeding. You need to put on top dressing, which is another fertilizer. Then you need to spray insecticides. If you've got armyworm, then you need to, of course, observe your garden and make sure that those pests don't disturb you too much. So once you've dealt with pests, you've dealt with the natural issues associated with farming, and you've also made sure that you've used the best things, you go into spacing. So your spacing should be determined by your requirements, your goals. Usually what I say for me is don't intercrop. So I don't intercrop. I don't put maize and beans on the same field. Why? Because I want to focus on one. It cuts my costs, and it somehow increases my productivity, because I have to weed once, I have to harvest once. I don't have to do the same task over and over again. So cutting costs is very important. Now, as you can see, the field is being cleared up, preparing for the new season. We're going to be doing legumes in the short season. So intercropping is also key to making sure that the soil remains good and nutritious for the plants. So the next thing I would like to talk to you about is, of course, the record keeping, which I've been hinting at this whole time. So you have to keep a record of all your expenses, and then at the end, when you sell, you sit down, you do an analysis before selling of your costs. So you harvest, preferably using an Excel sheet. You've been keeping all your records, so you know your total costs. Then you've harvested. Open up your Excel sheet after weighing, and you know how many kilos you have to sell, and then divide your total costs by the number of kilos. that will tell you how much you've spent per kilogram. Okay, so let's say you're spending 300 shillings per kg, which is a wild thought. If you can do that, if your productivity is that good, amazing, good for you. Then calculate from there what the best selling price is for you and move on. Do that. Sell at the best selling price based on data and statistics and numbers and Excel sheets and technology. If you're not tech savvy, or you don't have a computer, or to the bare minimum, you don't have a smartphone that can operate an Excel sheet, fine. Write your expenses on paper, use a calculator on the phone. Every phone, including this small Nokia, they all have calculators. Calculate your expenses and make sure that whatever you're doing, you're selling at the right cost to at least recoup your expenses. And that's all you need to do. And all of a sudden, your maize is profitable. Now, for those of you who followed suit, you heard me say earlier in the video that we were profitable in our maize farming. Yes, we were. We sold each kilogram at 1,030 shillings. It was very profitable for us, and we are happy with that result. We want better, of course. We ran a lot of losses in our produce, of course, but we were still profitable despite delays in harvesting and all those issues that come with delays. So, thank God for that. Agriculture is not easy. A lot of the times you're running losses, but when you finally manage to be profitable, you have to thank God. So I hope this is useful for you. I hope this helps. Ask any questions you want in the in the comment section. I'll be glad to answer you. And yeah, let's keep farming. Let's keep growing. Feel free to subscribe and like the video. Subscribe to the channel. I hope this is very useful. Cheers.